The extent to which the truth will set Nigerians free from the shackles of terrorism and Islamic extremism is the extent to which they are willing to allow the truth to materially play out in Nigeria. Ever since President Donald Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, a lot of people, particularly those we anticipated to have the best interest of Nigeria at heart, began to kick against it. They are concocting false narratives. They are suggesting that America has an underlying negative intention behind that designation. One of the narratives is that they are coming for your resources. Hold on a minute. You are using a narrative that has not been materially established to forge a narrative that has been materially established. You're using a narrative that they're coming for your oil, a narrative that has not been materially established. You're using it to forge a narrative that has been materially established. For crying out loud, when America went into Iran, they never stole any oil. All right? Now you are suggesting that the reason behind the designation is that they are coming to steal your oil. There's a narrative that has been established, which is that not less than 52,000 Nigerians has been killed as a consequence of terrorism and Islamic extremism. Another established narrative is that the Nigerian government has maintained a nonchalant disposition to that mindless killings. As a matter of fact, there are evidences, glaring indication that there are elements even in the corridors of power who appear to be working with these terrorists. So how do you anticipate, how do you expect the Nigerian government to be wholly committed to ridding Nigeria of terrorism and Islamic extremism? For crying out loud, the time is now. There is a justification for that designation. Let me say this to you, whether you like it or not, the likelihood that Donald Trump is going to act is inevitable, regardless of how much you try to use, because the reason for the false narrative is to demonize Donald Trump and demonize America and deter them from acting. And that's because a lot of people's interests are at stake. Their political interests, their financial interests, like Sheikh Gumi, who is negotiating between the government and the terrorists. The likelihood that he has a financial interest in all of these is inevitable. They are coming for your resources. That's what you said. The same resources that you have had to queue up for decades to get. The same resources that your politicians are plundering, pillaging. The same resources that they are using to enrich themselves at the expense of your well-being. So how can you tell me that America doesn't have your interest at heart? For crying out loud, nothing militates against a nation's freedom like half-truths and falsehood and hypocrisy. And it ought to come to an end. It ought to come to an end. Those who are in places of authority that are expected to act, you are betraying the trust bequeathed in you. Pastors and politicians and community leaders, no matter how much you try to spread this narrative, it will never deter America and Donald Trump, because there is a necessity to safeguard the lives of Christians. My name is BC Simeon. Help me to spread this message. May God bless you.